Welcome to this video on multiplying radicals. By the end of this video, you should be able to find the product of a radical expression, combine like radicals, write the product of a radical expression in simplest radical form, and differentiate between a rational and an irrational number. So, we're going to multiply, and when we're multiplying, you want to remember that you can multiply the coefficients. So a coefficient, remember, is the number in front of the radical. So you're going to multiply coefficients together, and then you're going to multiply the radicands together. And remember, the radicand is the number under the radical. Okay, and then as always, we're going to simplify our answer. So let's take a look at our first example. So multiply the coefficients together. If there's not one written there, it's actually a 1. So we want to take a look. It's going to say 1 times 3, so my answer there will be 3, and then you're going to multiply your radicands. 8 times 2 is 16, and then we want to simplify. So 16 can break down. There's a couple ways to write it, but I happen to think of 4 times 4. That's a pair. That means a 4 can come out. And there's nothing left to go underneath the radical, so the radical goes away. So my answer will be 4 times 3, which is 12. Now 12 is a more normal looking number, so it is rational. There was no radical left in the answer. So let's try another example. Remember, we're going to multiply the coefficients. So we have 2 times negative 2 gives us negative 4. And then 3 times 5, that's what goes for our radicand, is 15. So if you take a look, you always want to make sure you can simplify. Well, 15 is 3 times 5. There's no pairs, so we can't simplify. So our answer is going to stay negative 4 square root 15. This is simplest radical form, still has a radical that makes it irrational. Okay, let's try another example. Multiply your coefficients. 5 times negative 7 is going to give you negative 35. I'm going to show you a slightly different approach. We're going to multiply, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to write 10 times 12. And here's why I'm going to do that, because we were going to just have to break the number right back down again. So here, I don't have to, it's saving a step really. So 10 can be broken down to 2 times 5. 12 can be broken down to the factors of 2 times 6. So we've rewritten these, so I'm just going to cross them off so we don't get confused. 6 will break down one more time to 2 times 3. So I'll cross this guy off, and now let's start looking for pairs. So we have, let's see, a pair of 2's right here. So we can bring a 2 out to multiply in front. And then we don't have any other pairs, but what I see that we have is we have a single 5, a single 2, and a single 3. So they're going to have to go back under the radical together. 5 times 2 times 3. And out front I have 2 times negative 35, which is negative 70. So negative 70 square root, and that's going to be 30 when I remultiply everybody back together. Okay, it's in simplest radical form, still has a radical, that makes it irrational. Okay, coefficient times coefficient, negative 4 times negative 3 is a positive 12. And we could multiply those together. Here's what I'm just saying, go ahead and write them, because we're going to have to factor them down anyhow to break them up. So it's just saving us a step. 14 can be written as the factors of 2 times 7. I'm going to cross that off. And 8, that's my cheat one that I like to do. That's 2 times 2 times 2. It saves a little bit of space. And then we're looking for pairs. So I have a pair of 2's. It doesn't matter that they're not side by side, which means I can take a 2 out to multiply what's already in front. And I have another pair of 2's, so I can take out another 2. But I have a lonely 7, so the 7 has to go back under the radical. And out front I have 2 times 2, which is 4, times 12, which is 48. This is in simplest radical form. It still has a radical. That makes it irrational. Alright, let's keep trying. Multiply coefficients to coefficients. Remember, there's a 1 in front, so 4 times 1 is 4. And then we have 6 times 9. The 6 breaks down to 2 times 3. And the 9 to 3 by 3. Okay, so we've rewritten these, so I won't cross them off so I don't accidentally reuse them again. Okay, I'm looking for pairs. I got a pair of 3s, which means 1 will come out to multiply to what's already in front. And that's the only pair. I have a single 3 left over and a single 2 left over. So remember, when they're singles, they get remultiplied back together underneath the radical. So 2 times 3 is 6, and 3 times 4 is 12. Simplest radical form still has a radical in it. That makes it irrational. Okay. There's no coefficient in front of either one of these terms. It's a 1. So 1 times 1 is still 1, so we don't need to worry about writing it. We have 8 times 2. 2 is already broken down. It's prime. And 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. So I'm going to look for pairs. So I got a pair of 2's, which means a 2 is going to come out front. I have another pair of 2's, which means another 2 is going to come out in front and multiply to the one that's inside. And there's no single terms left. This 8 was rewritten as the 2 times 2. We used everything. That means the radical goes away. So we just need to multiply our 2 terms together. 2 times 2 is 4. That is a whole number. That makes it rational. Okay. Let's try a couple more examples. Coefficient times coefficient, negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Square root of 3 times 3. Okay, well, there's a pair. I used both of them. They're going to come out and multiply to what's already in front. There's no single terms left behind. That means the radical goes away. 3 times negative 6 is negative 18. That's an integer. That makes it rational. And one last one. Coefficient to coefficient is negative 4 times 3, which is negative 12. And then our radicand to radicand is 2 times 14. The 2 is already prime, so it won't break down again. 14 is 2 times 7. Look for pairs. I got a pair of 2's right here, which means a 2 can come out and multiply to what's already in front. And we have 1 7 left to go underneath your radical. 2 times negative 12 is negative 24. It's in simplest radical form with a radical. That makes it irrational. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. See you in class.